Alright, hello, welcome back to the channel for another video. I want to talk about, I had to watch this video because I keep hearing a lot about it, and I kind of like formulated an opinion about it based on what I was seeing in like other people's videos and like reports and things like that. But I didn't want to do a video unless I actually watched the video. So, of course, I'm talking about this Tati Westbrook video by Sis. She did on James Charles. And so I had to watch it. I think I watched it like maybe 2 times. So I watched it. And let me tell you, it's a very sad video. It's a very, very sad video. I could not believe I was watching a 37-year-old woman who obviously seems to be very jealous. She seems to be very jealous of this young man who has made something of himself, built him a nice little empire, and she seems to be very jealous of him, and she took this opportunity, I guess, to try to like knock him down, right? She took this opportunity to try to knock him down. That whole video, alright, is nothing but an attack on him, disguised as I care about James, I love him, I'm doing this because I'm concerned about him, I care about him. Get out of here. I didn't buy that for 1 second. Not for 1 second. Alright? The whole video, she played the victim. The whole entire video, she is playing the victim card here. Okay? So, for like the first 20 minutes of the video, all she does is talk about what her and her husband did. How her and her husband helped him. He was 17 years old. He contacted her through her DM or whatever, blah blah blah. It was conversation. He complimented her, and at some point, I guess they got to know each other, and I guess she was taken in by his charms, right? And they decided to try to help him, with his channel and what he was doing with the makeup and everything, and that was good of them to do, But I always tell people, if you're doing something for someone, you should do it because you want to do it, not because you're expecting something in return. And even though she said we never asked him for any money, maybe you should have asked him for some money, Tati, because, I would rather pay somebody money if they help me with something than kind of like make them think they are entitled to my soul. Because that's the way it came off. She acted like they helped him, so they were like entitled to his soul. That's the vibe I got. And no. So basically the whole first 20 minutes or so, all she's doing is talking about how much her and her husband helped him. Her husband helped him with the business and the things and all of that stuff. Okay. Then she goes on and she starts talking about like his sexuality. I'm like, hold on now. What this got to do with this man's sexuality? Talking about he's trying to trick straight men into thinking they're gay. I couldn't believe she said that. He tries to trick straight men into thinking they're gay. Listen, I'm a straight man. Can't no gay man trick me into thinking I'm gay. What kind of shit is that? Like, how do you trick somebody into thinking they're gay? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. I don't know what the hell she was thinking about or talking about, right? So then she's talking about, like, she's putting all this, like, these personal sexual information out there that has, I don't even know what place that had in the video. I really don't, okay? I don't know what place that had in the video, alright? And at one point she's talking about when his parents came to visit and they were at dinner and he's at the dinner table and he's like talking about sucking dick and cock, and she was so shocked, and like the people who were there at the table, she had to call them the next day and apologize to them. And I'm saying to myself, hold on. First of all, if his parents don't have a problem with him talking about sucking dick and cock, I mean, obviously that means they have accepted him for who he is, alright? So if they're okay with it, I'm okay with it, right? That's now not my business. Now, obviously, if you listen to her, I don't think she quite has accepted him for who he is. Because if you accept somebody for who they are, that kind of criticism is not going to show its ugly face, right? Like, no, that's who he is. So if that's who he is and you accept him for who he is, why are you shocked? Why are you appalled? Why are you like, no, 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 not here? Like, that's who he is. That is who he is. Alright? So she goes on and she talks about like the whole business thing because he endorsed some kind of like competitor's product, right? And I'm like, okay, so what? So he endorsed somebody else's product. I don't understand this whole competitor's product. I mean, shit, everybody is your competitor. You know what I mean? Everybody is literally your competitor. So, what, he not supposed to eat? Alright, so she was hurt by that. Like I said, the whole video, she's playing the victim. And to me, I'm not falling for that. I'm not buying that. She just comes off as being jealous that this kid has surpassed her. Okay? He has surpassed her. And he's more famous than her. He's more popular than her. Now maybe, you know, he's 19. He's gonna be 20 soon. He's still basically a kid. Alright? Now maybe the fame and the money has gone to his head. Okay? Maybe it has gone to his head. Alright? I can't imagine if I was that age and, you know, been successful like that and got that kind of money, I'd probably go crazy too. Right? I would like to think I wouldn't, but I'd probably go crazy too. Okay? And if you're a 19-year-old straight man, okay, you're out there chasing women, trying to get in their skirts and stuff. Now, he's not trying to get in no women's skirts, but he's trying to get something, right? He out there trying to get something. He's 19. Am I gonna knock him for that? Am I gonna act like he's some kind of sexual predator? He's 19 years old. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this whole thing women are doing now. Like, you wanna label a 19-year-old boy and make him seem to be some kind of sexual predator. Is that where we are in society now? Is this now acceptable that we want to label 19-year-old men, young men who were just probably coming into their own, learning what they need to learn about women and relationships, and probably, like, you know, unless they come from some environment where, you know, they were going crazy at a young age, at that age, at 18, 19, where they're kind of like maybe got a little freedom, they're probably going to go a little crazy then. Are we going to start calling them making them out to be sexual predators? I got news for you. If he's a sexual predator, I mean, lock up all the 19-year-old men, right? Lock up all the 19-year-old boys, because they're all sexual predators. If he's a sexual predator, right? Come on with that. Like, that whole thing about his sexual situation, that had no place in that video. That was dirty. That was dirty, right? And she talked about when he first met her, and like, you know, a lot of people were like bullying him and shitting on him. And I'm listening to this shit, and I'm like, you helped him because all these people were shitting on him, and now you are taking the biggest shit on him right now. You claim to care about him, and you're taking the biggest dump on him right now. And it's just coming from a place of jealousy. And for you to be sitting there acting like you're doing it because you care about him? No, I'm not believing that. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling. A lot of people out there might fall for that. I'm not falling for that, because I don't buy that for 1 minute. It just seems like jealousy. It just seems like jealousy to me. And it's sad that this 37-year-old woman, when she first started out, she was like saying, you know, when she first met him and he was 17, she kind of looked past that, like his personality traits and stuff. And, you know, he's kind of, you know, I guess, shady personality traits. And, she kind of looked past that because she figured, you know, he would grow up. So now at 19, about 2 years later, somehow she expected him to grow up in 2 years from 17 to 19. She expected this huge maturity thing to happen. I could understand if he was 30 or 40 and still doing the same thing, and you want to say, yeah, I thought he was going to grow up. But 2 years later, from 17 to 19, and you're sitting there, like, she just came off as naive and like a silly bumpkin to me. You know, the stuff she was saying, like, just naive and silly. She was talking a lot of silly shit. You expect somebody to just all of a sudden from 17 years old to 19 years old to just turn into this mature adult. That is absurd. Get out of here with that. You know, like honestly, she comes off kind of stupid. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Listening to her video, she comes off kind of stupid to me. I see why she's all in her feelings. I see why she's all in her feelings. And then she's trying to cry. Like at the end of that video, the Bye Sister video, and like the Why I Did It, the little short 17-minute Why I Did It video, she's trying to cry. And like, it's the funniest thing. You should watch the video if for nothing else, is to see her try to cry. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen it. She's literally trying to cry, and it's the funniest thing, because like no tears are coming out of her eyes. Her eyes are just as dry, like there's a freezer in the back of her head just drying up her tears. I'm like, what is she trying to do here? What is she trying to do? Who does she think she is? Is she trying to be like Nicole Kidman or something? Is she trying to be like the Ice Queen? I love you, Nicole Kidman. I'm just kidding. But it's like, I'm like, what is she trying to do here? That is ridiculous. Like, she's trying to. You have to watch the video if for nothing else. I thought that part was absurd, absurdly hilarious. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. Then she did this Why I Did It video and talking about she doesn't want people to attack him. People are attacking him and being mean and unsubscribing, and that's not what she intended. You know, to me, she's like a devil trying to convince us that she's an angel. No, sweetheart. Ain't nobody falling for that. The very naive might fall for it, but people with a little common sense who's lived a little bit can look at that and see straight through it. You're not going to convince me that you love him, that you care about him, and you're going to do a video and you're going to try to make him out to be this horrible person, and you're talking about his sexual situation, personal stuff, that I don't see what place it had in the video. I really don't see why you needed to talk about his sexuality stuff and what he's doing in the video. And even if you talk about sucking dick and cock in front of his parents, that's between him and his parents. Maybe they already know. Maybe that's not the first time he said stuff like that, and maybe they don't have a problem with it. Maybe they have fully accepted who he is. And it seems to me like you, Tati Westbrook, hasn't fully accepted who he is. And you're expecting too much from a 19-year-old. It's just the same thing when with Jordan Woods. Everybody said, like, hey, she's too young for people to be trying to put all this pressure on her. Like, can't you make a mistake anymore? Like, is James Charles not allowed to make a mistake? Is he supposed to be perfect? And I got news for you. This idea that he's kind of unfeeling. Well, you said before that people were like rude to him and mean to him. Can you imagine what it's like to be a young gay man? I mean, I can't imagine it's easy. It's not easy. There's not a lot of opportunities out there for gay men and for young gay men. Like, what are the opportunities? Teaching models how to walk and making YouTube videos, right? And he's took the YouTube video thing and turned it into a $1 million business empire, right? Turned it in, made millions of dollars off of it. I take my hats off to him. I take my hat off to him. Good for him. He made something. And maybe he's a little shifty. Maybe he's a little shady. It's called survival skills. It's called survival skills. This world isn't really nice to gay men. And some of them, depending on what environment they grew up in, had to develop certain survival skills. So maybe he's a little shifty. Maybe he's a little shady. It's called adapting. It's called having survival skills. Alright? And you're making this video, you're downing him, and you're acting like the victim. You're playing your little victim card, you know, and like he did you so wrong. A 19-year-old. And she's literally on the video. I'm scared of him. I'm scared. I'm scared of what he might do. Really? You're scared of him, but you made a video putting all his business out there, but you scared of him. I don't think if I was scared of somebody and I was like worried about what they might do, I wouldn't make a video on putting all their business out there, because then I might think that might make them want to do something if I was so scared of them. But she claims she's scared of him. She ain't scared of him. She's not some little sweet, innocent victim some little angel. She's a devil. That's my read on her. She's a devil, okay? And she's trying to fool us and make us hate this guy. I'm not gonna hate James Charles. He ain't do nothing to me, right? And I mean, people are unsubscribing. Like they said, he's lost like over 3 million subscribers. But this is YouTube. In about a month or so, all will be forgiven. People love his content, alright? They love his content. And as long as he keeps putting out good content, he'll be okay. He'll get back those 3 million plus subscribers and then some, alright? Because Tati Westbrook should have never made that video. She should have never made that video. I don't want to see any video of a 37-year-old grown-ass woman, married, taking cheap shots at a young 19-year-old gay man who's made something of himself in a world that is merciless towards gay people, okay? I don't want to see that video. And I don't want to see her in there because he's young and he's exploring his sexuality, trying to make him out to be some kind of sexual predator. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people trying to make young people out 19 years old when all 19-year-old men, gay or straight, whatever, you're curious about sex and you're looking to have some. I don't want to see somebody making a video trying to make that person out to be some kind of sexual predator. I don't want to see that. To me, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And when she gets out of her jealous feelings, alright, she's going to look back on that video and she's going to be ashamed of herself. She's going to be ashamed of herself, okay, for doing that video, taking those cheap shots. Those are cheap shots. You're a grown woman. I can understand why he acted the way he acted. He's 19. He's a kid. He's got a lot of growing, a lot of learning left to do. But you're a 37-year-old woman. You're a married woman. You have a business. And you do that? What's your excuse? What's your excuse, Tati Westbrook? I understand what his excuse is. He's young and inexperienced. Him having fame, him having success, him having money isn't gonna all of a sudden make him this mature adult. What it's gonna do is actually make him make more mistakes. That's what it's gonna do. Alright? But what is your excuse for this video? That video is so wrong on so many levels. You know what? I thought that video was really sad. I don't want to see a 37-year-old woman who is in her own right a successful businesswoman, alright? But let's be honest, James Charles has surpassed her. It is reality. He surpassed her. And maybe, maybe he got a little into himself and maybe he made her feel like she's not important anymore in his life or whatever. I don't know what happened. They haven't really gone into detail as to what happened. But what I do know is this. I don't want to see a 37-year-old successful businesswoman who is married, who is almost twice the age, has almost lived twice as long as James Charles, attacking him simply because he hasn't lived long enough to be as mature as she is. Let's be honest. He hasn't lived long enough to be as mature, quote unquote mature, because let's be honest, if you really watch that video, she doesn't come off as being that mature. Because to some degree when I was watching it, I couldn't help but wonder to myself, this is a 37-year-old woman, grown woman, businesswoman, wife, and she's like talking like she still thinks she's like, somewhere between 18 and 21 years old. She still thinks she's like the hot young chick, the cool girl or whatever. So I don't know how mature that is, alright? I don't know how mature that is. But I think the problem here is jealousy. The jealousy is real. She's jealous of him. She's jealous of his success. And, like I said, maybe he got a little bit into himself and made her feel unappreciated. She certainly acts like she feels unappreciated, like we did all this for you, and you should have shown us a little more loyalty and appreciation for what we did for you. So maybe that, she got into her feelings. But whatever the situation is, I am not comfortable with someone of her age attacking someone of his age, because he simply hasn't lived long enough to be at the level that she seems to expect him to be at in a mature sense. He's young. I mean, he's living his life, and he's, this is what he's supposed to get this out of your system when you're young. So when you get to her age, you're not thinking about what you missed out on and then acting a fool. You would have already gotten it out of your system. So, I understand why he's acting the way he's acting. I understand his level of maturity or immaturity. He's 19 years old. I don't understand her level, though, because she's 37 years old. She's married. She's got a successful business, but she seems to be all in her feelings. You're a married woman, 37 years old. You have a successful business, and you're making a video claiming to be afraid of a 19-year-old, immature 19-year-old at that. And you're claiming you want the audience to believe that you're afraid of what he might do. You're the victim. You're the victim. The whole 43 minutes, she was the victim. So she makes that video. And then she makes the why I did it video. She makes that video, and she's like, oh, I don't want people to be mean to him. Whichever side you're on, whether you're on my side or his side, this is not what I intended. I didn't intend for people to be mean to him and hate him. Please don't be mean to him and hate him. This is not why I did it. I did it because I love him. She's still lying to herself. She is still lying to herself. How can she be honest with the audience if she can't be honest with herself? I would have had more respect for her if she would have just said, you know what? I took him under my wing and I helped him, and now he's just acting like an ass. He thinks he's all that. He thinks because he's more successful than I am, he thinks because he surpassed me that he's better than I am. He thinks he's all that, and, he's like not showing me any respect. And, and I don't like that. I would have had more respect for her if she had said that, just been honest. But to come out here and try to sell this, I love him, and I just did this to help him. No. You did this to try to take him down, to try to knock him down a notch because he's past you. That's why you did this, okay? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the audience. Not everybody's gonna buy into your little pity party, you little victim. I'm the victim. Not everybody's gonna fall for that. Certainly not me, okay? The jealousy is real. The jealousy in that video is real. This isn't about trying to help somebody you love. If I love somebody in this day and age, in the climate with sexual harassment and all this stuff, the stuff you put out there about him sexually, that's not how you help somebody. That's how you destroy somebody. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, Tati. Stop it. Nobody's believing that. At least not everybody. Anyway, I'm glad she had her little moment. She got her little vindictiveness out. That's what that was about. That was about her being vindictive. That was a revenge video, She wanted to be vindictive, and congratulations, Tati. Great vindictive job. Great takedown. But I hate to tell you this, in about a month or so, he'll get back his 3 million subscribers he lost, and plus some more, and you'll be sitting back and wondering, why did I do this? Why didn't I handle this a little better? Why didn't I handle this in a more mature way? But hey, right now, enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Please feel free to share the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you back for the next video. And please try to have a nice day.